You're standing at your resurrection, chosen one, and every moment in the darkness was a delivery towards your light. You have survived the crucifixion, including the betrayals. That silence you hear now, it is not absence, it is alignment. You are protected in your stillness. Stand securely in your power. Blessing chosen ones, I am the crown oracle. Say to the end of this short transmission from Spirit for you. I too, since my water only fast ended at day 26 instead of day 30, had experienced deeper awareness into fawning empaths that ending my fast earlier revealed. Due to their betrayal would serve as divine intelligence, a big revelation into someone I once cared for due to their sabotage, attempt at manipulation, and gaslighting. My subsequent pivot caused me to gain 52 pounds in 12 days, and since recently been experiencing recent medical diagnosis, discovered fluid in my lungs, which for weeks now caused me to have relentless coughing, which is the main reason I haven't done any recording since. I allow my spirit to guide me to remedies which broke the coughing, although when I talk for even short periods of time, it can trigger coughing so far. I'm doing very well. Regardless, I intend to proceed from the delay as I am a powerful royal queen, and apps have no power over this vessel. Because the spiritual lie they program us to believe was that the tomb is a burial place and only a burial place. When necessary and divinely orchestrated endings occur by source, they make you believe that it's a punishment or a sign of your failure. They taught us that they taught us to fear silence, to fear the silence, the divine recalibration, and the brain fog you experience, one of your vessel's protection shield. I know for me specifically, when I am having a conversation with someone, I know when Source is attempting to jam that signal, because that is where whatever it was that I was about to share, it like spirit doesn't allow me to finish my sentence. And instead of forcing it, I recognize it as a protection shield. That is spirit protecting me from sharing with the wrong person. So they taught us to fear the silence, which silence often is divine recalibration. That is where the universe communicates with you because it will not fight for your attention. If you're so busy that you cannot sit and hear yourself think, you cannot sit in the silence, this is when most time people recognize they've lost everything. The life that you had that was so busy, that was so chaotic, since it's so chaotic, you don't even have time for Source to communicate with you. Source will pull the rug from underneath you, unseat you from whatever chair you're seated on, so that you will sit in the silence. And this is where I know personally I've had some beautiful messages come through where I'm sitting in the silence. I remember cutting off people because I had this one 4D type individual who we went to coaching classes together. And this person, they spoke relentlessly. And I seemed to be experiencing at the time when I sat at my dining room dinner table. I didn't even have the TV or anything turned on. I just sat there and ate quietly. And the wisdom that came through to me was so amazing. It was so beautiful. I didn't want to be interrupted. So I knew this person who loved to talk would try to call me and disrupt my peace. So I would definitely put my phone on do not disturb, because the silence, the quiet was a beautiful time when me and Source were definitely connecting. So they taught us to fear the silence. They taught us to avoid the recalibration from Source. Yes, brain fog is not the most exciting feeling to experience, but when I notice certain things happening, like I'm speaking, and I used to experience memory issues back in the day when my brain would freeze and lock up, especially when I was in the narcissistic relationship and I was um, recovering from my vehicle accident. I'd be in a conversation and then I lost my train of thought. I couldn't remember. This one goes a little bit deeper. It's different. It's not the same. Now I'm able to recall my thought. If it's something that source is trying to get my attention and you're not listening, then you'll find that the energy will not stick around. It will not try to fight for your attention. But I know that in the moment when if I am occupied and it's not like I'm ignoring that message that is coming through, I would go and sit down and say, listen, I'm ready. Bring it back to my memory. I am ready. I have pen and paper. My intention is clear. And it almost always returns to me. So brain fog, I know, is a big, big protection shield from source. I cannot emphasize that enough. It's as the same way as how when a person try to do anything to cause me harm and an opportunity doesn't go through, specifically the opportunity doesn't go through, instead of sitting down and be like, WTF, why did you do this? I have now recognized that rejection, delay, those are source protecting me. So in those moments, you pause and you ask, what are you trying to show me? You can sometimes recognize what they're showing you, what you're being protected from. So being in crucifixion, in living your abundance life, systems have programmed us to misunderstand and misinterpret our powers and our protection shield and divine support from source. So things like silence and brain fog, they make you live thinking that you're so broken that all you do is focus on the symptoms and not stop or push to go further to understand that, hey, you are powerful royals, more than conquerors. It's not like you are so broken that you cannot return to the true king or queen that you are. Because what you might be living from right now is simply programming. They program you to bury your gifts, your powers, and your abilities because you would be too powerful if you knew just how much of a king or queen or royal that you are. So, making you believe that if you weren't struggling, you weren't growing. But that is the programmed abundance block that keeps you trapped. Living in chapter one trauma and grieving the loss. That's what that is meant for. It's a trap. It's designed to make you panic in quiet defeat. When you sit down, panic in quiet defeat, you are withdrawn, you're cut off, you're not standing confidently in your power. That is what society wants from you, so that you don't live as the king or queen that you are. So far at this stage, they program us to be unforgotten royals, forgetting our powers. In my season, being in the belly of a whale, followed by the tomb showing up, I lost my savings at the time. I had to surrender my vehicle, my home, and then When moving out of my home at the time, the moving helpers that I booked were unreliable. They did not show at the scheduled time. So they rushed to try to make up for time, unloaded all my belongings, and heavy downpours drenched showers of rain, like heavy downpour drenched my belongings at the time. The earthly systems and fearmongers would teach you to see it as the end of it all and expected me to curse God, the source who giveth and taketh. It was an exercise that even I am quite pleased that I kept trusting source through losses and storms which society would have you believe to curse God or that you're cursed by God. This is where those pretending to be God lovers would run back into the chaos that source just did everything to orchestrate you divinely exiting that. It's almost like when they talk about backsliding, they would like for you to do a U-turn back into the chaos. So when you exit a situation that may be toxic or not for you, you see that you're being crucified and you have made the necessary steps to take yourself from this situation. Many a times you will notice that it's not that easy for you to get out of the situation because there are systems in place that do not want for you to exit. They love for you to stay in chaos because when you're in chaos, you cannot connect to your breakthrough because it keeps you in survival mode. And your breakthrough does not come when you're in the frequency of chaos. It's different competing energy, and source, the quantum field, is not going to show up in chaos. So then if chaos is where you dwell, you may end up seeing more chaotic things happening. But even if chaos shows up and that is not the frequency you dwell in permanently, frequently, or inhabit consistently, it doesn't mean your breakthrough won't show up. So the system does all it can to get you to turn back to the fear and health cycle, which through this journey has taught me just how many weak beings inhabit the narcissism frequency and dwell in the cycle of fear. Fake evidence appear in real cycles. The crown oracle truth is that the tomb is not the grave. A tomb is not a grave. It is a cocoon. The person you were died on the cross, but the one you are unfolding into is being woven in the stillness. You are not stuck. You are unfolding from your blueprint. Just like flower buds unfolds and blooms beautifully, or the caterpillar transformed into a butterfly, you are unfolding from your crucifixion to your ascension. For empaths, they program you to feel things so deeply and then try to convince you that you're too sensitive. For black sheep, you being here as the cycle breaker stood alone in your lineage, therefore could never fit in. Because you were born to break the generational pattern. No one else before you has succeeded. Therefore, that is the reason why you're unable to find any kindred spirits in your family that if you are in the category of black sheep, then you will recognize that you stand alone. They try to convince you that you indeed are hell on earth because that is the frequency they live in. And they try to convince you that you're weird, you're broken, something is just so wrong with you because you are not inhabiting the same lower level frequencies they do. even at your lowest point. For narcissist survivors whose light has been so bright as mirrors blinded the broken, who love your light but are too lazy to put in the effort to choose, they choose you a shortcut. Simple. Narcissists, they love your energy. Whatever it is that you have, you authentically demonstrate, they love that. They make you try to believe that you're useless, but yet still, that thing that made you special to them, if you pay attention, you will notice that if you're not allowing yourself to be taken in by them, and you document this, what I'm saying, you will notice that the things that are good and great and wonderful about you, that they begin mimicking to pretend that you and them are of the same traits, the same action, the same inclinations. It is your energy they borrowed. Once they met you, they shapeshifted into your energy, borrowing your energy. And the more you allow them to keep it, is the more they begin to tell you, this is wrong with you, this is broken, this is wrong with you. You should be like this, you shouldn't be like this. I remember even showing my ex how I prepared a special meal that he loved. And then after he learned to make that meal, he started to tease me that I couldn't cook. I was going through a really tough time back then. And I bought the nonsense he was saying, hook, line, and sinker. And for several years in the relationship, I never cooked because he took over the cooking. So the things that are beautiful and wonderful about you as chosen ones are the things that they shapeshift into. They use you as shortcut to take on these characteristics and mannerism, and then you kind of hand it over silently while they act like it is their energy. They borrowed your energy, and because you're allowing them, you sit in the background and they are there mimicking your energy and acting as if they're the one that owns this energy because they use you as shortcut. They cannot survive without you. So for fire signs whose spirit could not be quenched, they fear you so much. They created obstacles so that you turn that fire into rage, into anger, into inferno, turning that inwards to self-destruct. And for real chosen ones who awaken, the generational cycle breakers, who have moved beyond the shadows and into the tomb of preparation. But remember, you're not confused. Be not confused by your unfolding. It is necessary for you to shift, yet remain in alignment. So your metamorphosis, your transformation from caterpillar to butterfly is complete. If you're ready to tap into your abundance blueprint, type align in the comments. Subscribe and join the Crown Tribe family. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss these transmissions from Spirit for you. In Chapter 1, the Earth School lesson. The Earth School lesson plan is built around surviving the crucifixion of the heart. It comes with training you with stress, the confusion, the brain fog of wondering, why are these things happening to me? In Chapter 2, alignment with your birthright blueprint, your blessings. When you surrender to Source, you see the practical, the strategic application of cycles in the belly of the whale. The 3 days in the tomb, you reflect when you shift. Anyone can choose to shift instantly. End or begin a new habit in 3 days. The path to your abundant life becomes clearer. The betrayal, if it ever did occur, no longer has the power to hurt you because the silence has already served you. Many bypassers will stay lifetime in grief, replaying the trauma bonding, hosting pity parties, highlighting what happened to me, looping this is why I decided to stay in the grave. But a real chosen one from within the tomb accepts it as a preparation for their resurrection. You choose to stay in the hell on earth, looping through cycles in the tomb, or to live your abundance in heaven on earth, knowing even if weapons form, they shall not prosper. Moving to your new beginnings and your ascension. It can seem tough, but there are no mistakes. Your ancestors watched the cycles repeat for centuries. You are here at the exact moment because you are the answer to your ancestral prayers. For one brave enough, the generational cycle breaker, you are that one. Every struggle you face appears like the weight of the world on your shoulders. No one had ever done it before you. You are the first to access the crown through the silence of the tomb. Your ancestors are applauding you now as you step into your ascension. You're the one who stayed, the one who prayed, and the one who rose. You are never alone. Just being here, you've already won. Remember who you are, chosen one. Your kingdom awaits. Let's reign together, crown tribe. Namaste.